Hello, my name is Katina Horton, and I am the Love and Freedom Toxic Relationship Recovery Coach. Today, we're going to talk about future faking and the narcissist, okay? Now, future faking is a combination of two things. It's saying that you're going to do something in the future that never happens. And secondly, right, it involves something you are passionate about and or longing for. And so a person uses that against you to say they're going to do something in the future, right? So I'm going to give you the first example. The first one is with you and your girlfriend, okay, who is narcissistic or either has another personality disorder, okay? She knows that you like decorating. And so she says, you know what? I don't know a thing about decorating, girl. And so in a few weeks, when I get ready to do my son's room, I'm going to pull you in on the project, okay? We're going to go to the stores, pick out the paint, the valances, the blinds, the whole 9 yards. And so you get pumped up about it. And like I said, she knows this is your passion. And so she keeps mentioning it to you for about a good month. So the next thing you know, she talks about how her and her other friend finished up your son's room. And so then you, of course, are feeling some kind of way about it because she'd already told you that you were the one that she was going to pick to do it. You see what I'm saying? But she doesn't say anything about what she haven't done. And so it leaves you with some kind of way, and you don't even really know what to do with those feelings, right? But think about it. When you have hope for something and your mind is set on it, right? And your soul gets set on it, you start just hoping and wishing and hoping and wishing and hoping and wishing that it's going to happen. But when it doesn't, that's when you've found yourself in kind of a pickle, because at that point, your soul ends up being tied to that because it's something that you really like to do, okay? And that's why future faking works so well, because that person dives into what it is they know that you want and they're not going to give you, okay? And in the scripture, it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. There is no evidence in this case. Second example. You are in a transitionally supplied, soul-tied, toxic relationship. And remember, these type of relationships is just when the narcissist has pulled you in just so you can help them through a transition. It could be divorce, job loss, home loss. They might have even had the death of a spouse and they don't know what to do with the 2-3 kids they got there. And you happen to have 2 kids and you're a single mom, so you get pulled in. But you don't know going in there, you were only pulled in to help them with that transition, right? And so what they do when they love bomb you with a meal, and that's probably it. And the second part, you've gotten tied in because what happens is that you end up sinning against your body, okay? So you've locked that in, unfortunately. Okay, so what happens during this love bombing phase after being given the meal and being love bombed that way, they're showing you the mansion he's showing you the mansion that him and his ex-wife lived in. He's telling you about all of the vacation homes you're going to buy, the boats you're going to buy, the cars you're going to buy. And so you're just hanging on. Your soul is hanging on to this, right? And you've got caught up in all of these material things, right? And remember, Satan tempted Jesus after he came off of a 40-day fast, right? He tempted him and said, all of these things could be yours. So that's basically what the narcissist does in a soul-tied, toxic relationship that's transitional, right? And so what happens is that when nothing happens, he discards you out of nowhere. He's promised you all these things. The only thing you've gotten out of him was a meal, right? And all this false hope and false promises, and then the discard out of nowhere, leaving you with the whiplash. And in turn, your soul that was already trauma bond and soul tied to him, right? You want to go and start stalking him, okay? Last example, okay? Your romantic narcissistic partner, you're with him and you notice that his behavior has changed, right? His whole persona changed. It went from you being the best in writing poetry and short stories and acrostic poems about you to him devaluing you. And it seemed like you can't do anything right in the kitchen, right? And so your whole thing is that you're thinking, if we can just get back to that, if we can just get back to the beginning, even though the beginning had you in a state of shame, but you're thinking if we can just get back to that point, right? And so what he does is he starts playing this game with you, if you could just. And the first thing he said, change your hair. So you're like, okay, well, he said if I change my hair, that means we're going to get back, right? And so then you change your hair, nothing happens. And then you change your hair, then you change the style again, and then you change to like 50 other styles, and you start putting on a whole lot of makeup and nothing's happening. And then even your friends are noticing. They're like, oh, what's going on with you? You're like, nothing, and you're lying. You know, and they're like, well, I like the makeup, but something seems off. You know, nothing's going on, girl. And nothing's happening, right? Okay, so the next thing he said, if you could just change your clothes, they're too conservative. So you change your clothes, nothing happened. You change. Next thing you know, you're showing a whole lot of cleavage, nothing happened, right? Okay, so then you go from that. And then he say, well, you can get your teeth fixed and get a new face, okay? You know, make over with your face, you know, get something done. So then you go and you get the Botox or whatever other lifts you got going on. Nothing happens, okay? Then after a while, you realize, man, nothing's happening. I've done like 10 different things. So that's the point where you realize you've just been on a hamster wheel, right? But what happens with hamsters on the hamster wheel? The starting point and the destination is the same, okay? They're still in that wheel and they just going in that same place, right? Think about it. Okay, and so what happens is that because you've been doing all of this and your soul has gotten tied into the process, right? Because you've got underneath that, you've got the love and approval addictions. What happened is that this deep longing and neediness builds up and you feel like you just don't know what to do. You're walking around and your heart is literally just sick. You're in a heart-sickened state of languishing and you don't know what to do, right? You have all this time, but all of this stuff he said has never come to fruition, okay? Proverbs 13:12, it says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Think about it. Ask yourself, is it worth it to tie myself into this? Okay? Until next time, bye-bye.